Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and today I went back and played Battlefield 4, and I noticed a couple of things that I actually missed from the game, like not very big features, but just some very small things that they took away in Battlefield 1, and that I ended up actually missing, or like I went to use it and wasn't there anymore. So there's 10 of them, so I'm going to go through them really quick. I don't want to make this video too long, so hopefully you guys will enjoy. So number one is the minimum amount of players to start a game. So basically, in Battlefield 4, you needed 4 players to start a game, and now in Battlefield 1, you need anywhere from at least 5 on each team to all the way up to like 20. So it sucks just because that you always have to basically wait, especially in custom games. It's very hard to start a game because people leave because it's so goddamn long to wait. So it just I don't know. They should have just kept it how it was. Because they're basically telling you can't really have fun the way that you want to have fun. You're gonna have fun the way that we want you to have fun. Like so what if you want to do like a 2v2 on Sinai Desert and Conquest? Like, go for it. If it's your own time, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. So moving right on to number 2, customizable soldier. So in Battlefield 1, the customization has seen a big drop, so you can't customize like your soldier camo. You can't customize your soldier like whatsoever other than weapon skins, which is kind of unfortunate. So they took out a big chunk of what we could do in Battlefield 4 as compared to Battlefield 1. Like, we had custom camos and stuff like that, and you could modify your weapons, of course, with the attachments, but that's another subject altogether. But I just feel like they took away a lot of our customization. We're looking for more customizations nowadays. Like, that's where the industry's going. In most games, you can customize your soldier a lot, and that's what people are looking for. And in Battlefield 1, I just think they downgraded a little bit. Number 3, a user-friendly server browser. So I know a lot of people bitched about Battlelog and all that, but at least it was user-friendly. You could find what you were looking for pretty quick. In Battlefield 1, the server browser is pretty fucking shitty, if you ask me. I mean, it's to search for hardcore, you actually have to go in the settings and change the setting that is changed when the hardcore game mode is on. So you have to go into the advanced settings or whatever, and then go 125% bullet damage, and then it's going to give you the hardcore game mode. And it just a little, they downgraded a little bit. I mean, I know Battlelog, a lot of people wanted it to be an in-game server browser, and we have that now, which I'm glad it's an in-game server browser. But I just feel as though they could have made it a little bit easier for people to find game modes that they're looking for. Number 4, taking out your grenade before throwing it. Now, I know this sounds pretty fucking ridiculous, like, oh, why would you bitch about like being able to take out your grenade and having it in your hand before throwing it? Well, here's why. When I throw a grenade, my grenade key is the G key. So basically, when I'm throwing a grenade, I take my index finger off one of my side keys, basically my D key, which is to move to the right. So in Battlefield 4, what I would do is I would take out my grenade with number 5, have it in my hand, and then proceed to throw it instead of like automatically throwing it or not like being able to hold it in my hand or whatever. So I didn't notice I would miss that until I actually tried and take my grenade out, and it was like, well, no, you can't do that anymore. So I don't know why they took that out. Really couldn't tell you, but I kind of miss being able to take it out, like I said. No sexual pun here. Number 5, opening the scoreboard and actually seeing the score between teams. So in Battlefield 4, let's say you're playing a game Conquest. If you would press the tab button, you could see, like, let's say it's 350 tickets to 200. In Battlefield 1, you can't do that anymore. So basically, when you're in the spawn screen, you can't actually see the score in between both teams. You actually have to be spawned into the game to see the score, which I don't know why they took that out. It's not like it's very complicated to implement to the game, and it's been something that we've had forever, so why take it out altogether? Number 6, the way tickets were counted in Conquest. So in Battlefield 4 and all previous Battlefields, you would start with, let's say, 800 tickets, and each ticket would be a respawn. And the more flags that your team controlled, the faster the enemy tickets would bleed. So basically, when you got to 0, the team would lose. So basically, and every time a soldier respawned, they would lose a ticket, and if a medic revived them before they got a chance to respawn, it would save them a ticket. Now, the way they're counted in Battlefield 1 is that you start at 0 tickets, and basically the more flags you control, the more points you'll get. And they're not really tickets anymore. They're more towards points. So the more points you'll get until you reach the limit of 1,000, and then your team or the enemy team wins the game. respawns don't count anymore, so you can just respawn as much as you can. Revives don't count. So some people actually describe this as a large-scale domination because the ticket counts or respawns don't really matter anymore, just because you can respawn as much as you can. And I would agree with that. The reason they did this is to cater again more to the casual crowd. It's easier to understand Conquest. You get in, you cap flags, you get points, that's it. Instead of having that, well, if you die and respawn, it takes a ticket away from your team and all that. So it was too complicated. I don't really think it was too complicated. You just need to, like, you play a couple of games of Conquest on Battlefield 4, you kind of get the gist of how the fuck it works, right? But in Battlefield 1, they try and make it, like, dumb it down so people can just get into it easier, and I don't think that's the right way to do things personally. I think it's gonna hurt the longevity of the game, but that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys agree with this. And also what this did is take away the capacity to get those awesome comebacks. Let's say the enemy team had 600 tickets, you had 150, but you can turn that shit around with like awesome flanks, cap all the flags, and then end up winning the game. You can't really do that anymore in Battlefield 1, which is quite unfortunate. You don't get those clutch moments anymore, so that's kind of sad. Number 7 is the medal system. So basically, in Battlefield 1, each week you get a new set of medals that you can work on, and you can only work on one at a time. Which I don't really know why they changed it from Battlefield 4. In Battlefield 4, you had a buttload of medals. At the same time, you could, and just by playing the game naturally, and depending on what map you're playing on, depending what class you're playing, you could just get those medals just by playing. Now, you actually have to pick a medal and be like, okay, well, I'm going to play this class now because I'm working on this medal, even though it's not really helping my team. I'm working on this medal, so I'm going to do it this way. So it just kind of defeats the purpose of teamwork, and it just makes people play more selfishly, if I can say so. Number 8, the progression system. So we all know that the progression system in Battlefield 1 is pretty shit. In Battlefield 4, you had mastery dog tags, you had a progression system for each individual weapon. There was just a lot more to the progression in Battlefield 4 than there is in Battlefield 1. Right now, you just level up your classes, and that's pretty much it. There's not much more to it than that. You'll unlock all the weapons after a very short period of time, and after that, it's pretty much just a stalemate until maybe new content comes out. I really don't know, but there's something missing in there as in rewarding the player. I mean, some people just play Battlefield for the fun factor of the game, and that's great, but for hardcore players that play a lot, it would be nice to get some sort of reward for like putting in the amount of hours that you put in the game. And number 9, spawning in transport vehicles. So I hope that they're going to bring this back. Right now, you can't spawn in transport vehicles. I'm thinking here like the motorbikes with the sidecars, or like just transport vehicles in general. You can't spawn in. You have to spawn on the base, then look for one, and then get in it. This wasn't how it was in Battlefield 4. In Battlefield 4, you could just spawn directly on the transport vehicle, and boom, you were off to go conquer the world or whatever the fuck it is you wanted to do. So it's just, I don't know, just makes the game slower paced for some reason. Just because you can't get into the action as fast because you have to actually look for the vehicle and whatnot. And finally, number 10, a meaningful headshot multiplier. Now, in Battlefield 4, the headshot multiplier was 2.13 for all the rifles, and it was a little bit higher for scout rifles. But in Battlefield 1, it is only 1.7. And again, they did this to cater more to the casual crowd that don't play that much. They want to attract more players as opposed to having a community that is, let's say, more skilled or some more competitive type of gameplay, faster paced. They slowed it down. They made it so that the headshots don't do as much damage to slow down the game, well, the time to kill, basically. And it just pretty much caters more to the casual crowd. That's the only reason I can see why they did this, and I'm pretty sure that's the only reason they did this. Now, I do realize that this is a lot of critiquing and like almost ranting about the game, but I think it's because we love the game, or I love the game so much that I'm being critical of how it's made and what features we have and what we don't have. And I just want Battlefield to be the best game it can possibly be and not downgrade from previous years. I want them to be better and make a better game and get a better community and get more players to be active in that community and play the game for years to come, instead of just having a game that dies down after a couple of months. That would be a shame, because I think the game is great, but there's just some things that they could have made better, or just not let go from the previous Battlefield titles. So I don't want this to seem as though I don't like the game. I love the game, but I just think they can make it's so much better than it is right now, and it would help the longevity of the game, because I don't want Battlefield to die down. That would be very unfortunate. So if you guys like the video, or if you agree with anything that I just said, leave some comments down below, and also make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed it, a dislike if you didn't, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Sorry if the video was a little bit long. I tend to start rambling every now and then, but as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.